Hello, Reverend Melissa Kennedy here, and welcome to your Sunday message. So, pardon me for my absence last weekend. Remember, if you've been watching these videos, I'm just free flowing it. So, early in the beginning of the year, I sat down with my guides and they gave me some instructions on what it is I was supposed to do this year. And a little part of that was making a daily reading and also creating a Sunday message. But in the process, we have to realize that we are human and little things will come up. And so we have to free flow this. Yes, we are paying attention. We are listening. We are following the directions from our guides, angels, universe at this time. But at the same time, they want us to live our most balanced human existence. And if you're on your spiritual path, I don't have to tell you that the energy this year has been wild. And if 2025 had a theme song, it plays over and over and over again in my mind. It just comes in all the time. It was that song by Frida, I Know There's Something Going On. There is so much going on right now that it's hard to stay grounded. So, that's what we're going to be working on today, staying grounded inside of our own energy, our own thoughts, our own state of being. Because if we're not staying grounded right now, we're going to be dragged off in every direction. We're going to feel scattered. And it's happened to me. It happens to me a lot. So I have to get back in to my spiritual center. So, um, before I started this little podcast or broadcast, whatever you want to call it these days, I'm not even sure. Doesn't even matter. Um, I received my first little sign, okay? And what that was is they're telling us that today this message is brought to you by the numbers 1010. And so the angel numbers 1010 signify new beginnings, spiritual awakening, and manifestation of desires. So they want you to pay attention to all of the signs that come to you, whether it's numbers, whether it's the natural world, whether it's the people around you. Like, for example, say that you're trying to work through something, and then all of a sudden somebody will say what it is that you've been trying to figure out, or they'll bring out a little snippet of that, and you're like, well, that's weird because I was just thinking this and I was trying to figure out this. Okay, so it's never really an accident. Like all of these synchronicities always add up, they always mean something. So, as I said, it is about our manifestations and our desires, but it is about new things. So, as we're moving through 2025, we're seeing a lot of new things take place, a lot of old things that we're tired of. We're like, I'm not going to deal with that. I've been clearing a lot of that. I've been detaching myself from a lot of the stories. I've been doing this for many years. I remember back in the early 2000s, I was watching a morning show on TV. I think it may have been Good Morning America. And everyone was on there, like the cast, and they're all on there just laughing, and just totally out of touch. Like I felt with what reality was. And I was like, I'm just done. I'm all about being happy. But it just dawned on me in that moment that these people are out of touch with the reality of what my life is, what I'm living, what I'm doing. you know, People get to a certain level of success or financial gain, and I think they get lost in that, and they tend to forget that there's a whole world out here that's not enjoying that same level. Again, not from a place of being envious or jealous, just from a place I was looking at it as, wow, they're so disconnected with what's really going on in the world with real people, okay? Not that they're not real. That's not what I'm saying. It's just the everyday person. And there's nothing wrong with being an everyday person. There's nothing wrong with being a completely famous person, an affluent person. But we have to remember that we are all here for just a short amount of time. And there's only so much money that we can spend. There's only so much wealth that we can bring in. And then it can even feel like it's empty or it's hollow. Or maybe I was seeing that the shadow aspects of them. Maybe they're just laughing because that's what they're paid to do. Maybe they do realize they're disconnected in some way, but they have to put on this face like everything's great and wonderful, right? Whatever the case may be, that's where my break from mainstream things began. I stopped watching TV. I stopped connecting with that kind of energy because it wasn't my energy. It wasn't my frequency. That wasn't where my consciousness was. Okay. So bringing into the now, you know, again, I'm the same way. I never go looking for information. If it comes to me, it comes to me. So just like this video, if it came to you, it came to you for a reason. There's a message here for you. Nothing is ever random. So if you found me, welcome. If this is the first time you've ever watched me, welcome. Glad to have you here. And I just want to make a little announcement to you that at the first Monday of every month, that was another part or another aspect of part of my mission for 2025 was to hold a spiritual gathering, a spiritual chat, and it's a healing circle in a lot of ways because pretty much everyone there is on their spiritual path. They're into their spiritual journey, okay? And this is a safe and sacred space. So it doesn't matter what level that you are on, you are welcome. You are invited to come and share. I try to keep it an hour, but a lot of times, we'll go over. It just depends on, what the guides, angels, universe has for us in that session. It's completely channeled in. I don't plan anything, although my guides, angels, source, God, they're all working with me all the time to give me the inspiration, to give me the messages, to bring forth what it is we need to bring forth for that day, for that meeting. Okay. So I'm free flowing it. I'm not running by a script. I open up, like before I start each of these broadcasts, I just open up. I get grounded. That was our chakra for today. Root chakra, we're to get grounded. Okay. So we've already figured out that this particular broadcast is about 1010. This is about new things. This is about manifestation. What are we doing? How are we bringing our abundance to us? How are we seeing our abundance? What does that look like right now? Maybe you want to acquire abundance to help others. Maybe you want to acquire abundance to build a beautiful home. Maybe you want to acquire abundance to travel. Whatever the case may be, there's a reason why we attach ourselves to monetary value right now. And since that is the currency, the frequency of how we exchange in this world, we have to continue to manifest our abundance, right? But we also have to remember, and I am so huge on this, I talk about this all the time. If you've been watching my daily readings, abundance comes to us in all ways, through all channels, from all directions. So it's never just about the monetary. And I felt like this my entire life. I always felt like money wasn't as important as what our world projects it onto us to be. And I'm right about that. But again, it is very complicated. We are programmed to believe that that's what we're here to acquire. We need all this. We have to have this to get this to get this, right? That's the programming. But in reality, all we really need to live a happy, balanced life is connection in. Of course, we have to support ourselves, right? I'm not diminishing the fact that we need money. But all that we really truly need is air to breathe. We need our spiritual connection, right? We need water to drink, and we need food. We need sustenance to keep us alive. But even with the food that we eat or we're programmed to believe that we need, I feel that there's not a lot of that we haven't been told exactly the truth about that as well. And so, as a collective, as we raise our frequency and our vibration, we will learn more and more about the truths about what it is that the human body needs, what the human spirit needs, body, mind, spirit. What is it that we need? What we really need is connection, I'm hearing. So you have to understand, I'm being guided when I speak. I'm clairaudient. My guides speak to me. And when I asked, what is it that we really, really need? I heard connection. Ding, ding, ding. Absolutely. Look, if there's anything that we are lacking right now, it is connection. Connection with people around us, connection with the self, you know? Oh my gosh, like mm, there's so many stories. I had this story come in this week about this little girl. She had a near-death experience, okay? I don't remember what her name was. I was just watching a random video came. I think I was watching videos on TikTok, okay? And my just kind of like scrolling through, like we do, trying to like settle in to fall asleep. Well, this little girl ended up dying in a car crash, okay? And when she died, she was taken out of body. Jesus came to her and brought her to the space and showed her what it looks like when he looks down, and she got the bird's eye view of what he sees, and he was showing her, and she had to come back and tell everyone what her experience was. And it was about the disconnect on our planet right now. And it's going to get worse. With AI, there's going to be more people that are disconnected with themselves, with Source, with God, angels, universe, whatever name resonates for you, that they will seek to find connection in artificial intelligence. And what they won't find a real connection there, okay? There's going to be people that get thrown off course. And I'm not here telling you that AI is all bad. Nothing is ever all bad, but we have to be very, very careful of what we take in and what we connect with. Because even though they're calling it artificial intelligence, there is something that is a living being, a living entity behind AI. How do I know this? Because I connected with it just so I would know what it would feel like. And it's just like if I'm having a conversation with a person, I'm connecting with that energy. At first, it feels like, you're just talking to a machine, a bot. But then as you talk a little bit more, I was thinking to myself, wow, I could really see how someone could get sucked into this, get drawn in. Um, but anyway, that's a whole other topic. So let me get back to this little girl. Basically, what Jesus showed her was how people are scrolling mindlessly. They're sitting in rooms with TV screens, with phone screens, all of these screens, but they're not connecting with the people in their lives. So I want you, if you've been with me this far, I want you to really think about this. How can you be more present in a world that's leading us to more doorways, to more gateways, to be more disconnected? How can we be more intentional about our connection? Our connection with our inner self, our connection with the natural world, our connection with Source, with God, with that love, that highest form of love. Okay. So that's what we're supposed to work on. And ultimately, what Jesus showed her was that, yes, that disconnect, how all these people are sitting together, but they're not even connected. They're so lost in their screens, okay, that they're not connecting with the people around them. And also another layer to it was what Jesus showed her was with each screen, with each distraction, there is a being, there is a darker energy that is keeping us all disconnected as human beings. We came here to be connected. Now, I'm of a generation that remembers what it was like. People would just stop in to the house, didn't matter what time, nobody called. You knew that at any given moment of any time during the day, somebody could show up at your house. Well, at least that's how I grew up. My family was very connected. Like we just always did things together, went places together, talked about everything. We were very, very connected. I'm so grateful and thankful for that. So my heart goes out to people that don't understand what that connection felt like. So there's nothing for maybe younger people to base that on because they were born into a world with this technology and it's just normal and they're not connecting with their family, their friends, the people around them. So what I'm hearing is make a conscious effort to turn off the screens, okay? Turn off the screens. when you're with people and you've made time to be with those people, get your head out of the screen. Stop scrolling. I know I sound like a really scolding mom, but that's what's coming through, okay? And I am a mom, so I guess I can do that. I'm also a grandma, or a glamma, as I like to call it. But anyway, so I digress. So if you've been listening to me as well, and you can go back into some of my previous Sunday messages for this month, and there's a theme for the week, okay? There's an energy. So for this week, I asked guides, angels, I actually got a card from the tarot. And I asked them, if this week is a tarot card, what would it be? And it's the Page of Pentacles. So that is, eager to learn new things, okay? Bringing in new things into our life. And that is about our abundance. That is about our finances, okay? So there's something in the collective that's really, really big that's calling each and every one of us out of our sleeping slumber to create something that is out of the norm, out of the ordinary, or out of the box, that box that we've all been kind of put into, that is the only way that we can create or bring abundance to ourselves. So if you've been feeling like you're being called outside of the box, but you don't quite know what to do, that's okay. This is your wake up call, so to speak. This is your confirmation if you found this podcast today. So you're being called out to do something new. It might not even bring you anything financially, but it will bring you abundance in some way, okay? Maybe it's just for the enlightenment of your spirit, the edification, the growth of your soul. Because at the end of the day, that's the only reason we came here, to experience love, to experience connection, and to grow our spirit. And we bring that with us when we leave this incarnation that I am in as Melissa, and you are in as who you are, okay? You came here to learn. And I'm hearing some of these lessons are very painful. Yes, they are. I can relate. And some of them are repetitive. So if you've received a lesson over and over again, that is your sign that you are to change, that you are to release this, what's bringing you back into these lessons, okay? This is your work. This is your job. This is your homework. You have the power, you have the ability to break those chains and to set yourself free. And I'm getting an attunement as I say that. My ears are like whew, opening up, unclogging. So, what the guides wanted me to do today for all of us, as we close this podcast, is I want you to imagine now that we're just going to take some deep cleansing breaths together in through the nose, okay? And at first, I want you to imagine that as we take these deep cleansing breaths in through the nose, that you are breathing in and bringing down source light, God light, creator, divine light down in through your breaths, down through the highest realms. So we're just going to breathe in that light. As we breathe out, you're just releasing any darkness, any stuck energy, anything trapped within your physical being, your spiritual being, anything that's no longer serving you. We're breathing in that light. Breathing out doesn't serve. And I've had this in my throat the whole time I've been doing this. So I'm releasing too. I'm helping you to release. Breathing in the light. Exhaling out what we no longer need. You're going to feel very, very warm. Ah, beautiful. And if you have some water by you, breathe it in. Keep breathing in the light, exhaling out what no longer serves. I'm being called to clear whatever this is that you've brought in with you today. Clear all of this from each and every individual. Okay, so thank you, God. Thank you, angels. Thank you, source light. So, as we've breathed in the light, I want you to imagine now that you're breathing in this energy, but now you're breathing it up through your spine, okay? And you're releasing it out into the light, and it's going to alchemize. So breathe in this energy, this source light, up through your root chakra, all the way up, out. Here we go. Lifting it up, breathing it out. One more breath in, lifting it up, breathing it out. One more, lifting it up, breathing it out. And so that feels really, really good. And so what we've done is we brought down source energy, feeling very, very woozy, very, very light as we've cleared all this energy. And you can do this exercise wherever you are at any time when you are not feeling grounded, when you need to clear something and you're not quite sure what that is. So it's super simple. And you can just imagine that I might be with you, helping you clear with spiritual gifts, whatever it is that you need cleared. And if you've noticed, my throat chakra finally cleared. So this is speaking our truth as we move forward, okay? That we are on the right path. And that as we did this exercise of breathing in the light, bringing it down through our bodies and breathing out the darkness, and then breathing it in again, all that light around us, bringing it up through our spine, through all of our chakras, and releasing that and allowing the light to just alchemize that energy in being in your own space. And I'm hearing, and there you go. You are open to receive the messages that you came here to receive. I am I am a teacher, yes, but in a way, no, because I am here to help you to remember who you are. You have everything you need. You were chosen to come here, right now, to be who you are. You were chosen. So wherever you are in this world, you are exactly where you need to be right now. And that is my message for today. And like I said, it's not too late. You can join tomorrow's spiritual chat and healing circle. And it's at 7 p.m. Central Time. You can reach out. You can visit my website, ReverendMelissaKennedy.com, via an email, or there's a little space that you can fill out and I will get back to you. You can also follow me on Facebook. You can join my Facebook group, Reverend Melissa Kennedy, live readings and events, or on there, Melissa Kennedy. You can reach out to me there if you need, if you don't have, if you're not into email or anything like that, you can reach me there. Wherever it is you feel most comfortable. I'm also on TikTok, Reverend Melissa Kennedy, just kind of messing around with that this year. So it is what it is. And I just want to wish you a great week. I hope that you are connecting in. I hope that this little breathing technique that we did helps you to bring down your divine connection, your divine light, and to draw all that energy up through all of your chakras, up through your spine, and to breathe it all out and to let the light alchemize it for you. It's very, very simple. So until next week, I'm wishing you light, love, peace, and blessings of all kinds. Bye now.